Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my fragrance remix part 2. But first I need to find my book. Book? Oh, here it is. It's Halloween time. You guys know I love to play dress up. I like to get into characters. So I am wearing my new Corgi Hocus Pocus sweater. And I did get this book just so I can start documenting my little fragrance potions. So in part 1 I didn't feel like I was describing the scents enough. I'm gonna let you guys know how I'm layering. That's more so what I meant, because while I'm playing with the fragrances, I do spend only like a full day and maybe an overnight with each of these combos. So I don't really have super in-depth descriptions, but I also want to let you guys know where my mind goes when I am pairing a fragrance. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I grouped these together to kind of help me get through this video with hopefully not too much confusion. First up, we are gonna go over Sol de Janeiro's After Hours. And this is the new, and I would say I'm mixing it with another new and then an older one. Now, older meaning like 2 years and older, because I feel like we're always looking for the next best thing. We spend about a year or two with a fragrance, and then I do feel like, at least with me, it gets lost in my collection. But this one was actually a recommendation from my lovely subscriber Julie, who got this combination from a YouTuber, Oshu Seasonal Scents, and I will link her channel as well as the video where she talks about this combination and other combinations. But this is Valentino's Donna Born and Roma Intense, and I did check and this one's still available, but it is limited edition. This is a gorgeous combination. A lot of the fragrances I'm going to talk about, you still get the DNA of the two. This is very seamless. I don't know if it's because this is more of a mist. This is a gorgeous fruity floral gourmand fragrance. It's going to give you kind of that flower bomb mist version. Not quite flower bomb, because flower bomb's it's a beast. This is nice to top up flower bomb, but I didn't think of that combination because that to me is a little boring. This combination though. So this one has Midnight Jasmine and Amber Woods, but I did see that there's other, I believe it's pear that's in this one, and I don't know if it's blackcurrant, but they did have other fruity notes listed in this one. And then this one, what I get the most in this one is ambery vanilla jasmine fragrance. So what this did was kind of add a gourmand touch to this one that I don't feel I get. Yes, this is vanilla, but I don't get a gourmand touch to this one. This mixes in again seamlessly. It's like I don't get this scent any longer. It just melds with this one and it smells gorgeous. Now, this is sexy. This is also something I would say is nice for cooler weather. I did enjoy this when it was cooler here, when we had a cool front last week. We're back up in the 80s. Don't let this sweater fool you. So I did try it with the original. This is another gorgeous one. This is neck and neck. It depends on what you want. If you want more of a fruity kind of vibe, I would say go for this one. This one's also a little bit more tolerable in this hot weather. This is a beautiful combination. But if you want something a little more sexy, warm, vanilla, ambery, I would say then go for the Intense. So either way, this, now I have a new love for this. When I reviewed this one, I said she was cute. I was like, she's all right. Now I do have a new love for this. This, with any of those two fragrances, totally revamps them. So again, that's Sol de Janeiro's After Hours with either Valentino Donna Born in Roma, the original, or the Intense. Okay, sticking in line with Valentino. Now, I'm gonna link this one. This comes and goes, but I did mention that I wanted to try the new Valentino Born in Roma Pink with Lalique's Soleil Vibrant. And this was a nice combination. I do want to play with it a little bit more because Soleil by Lalique has gotten to be a little bit more of a powerhouse with time. This was a fragrance that to me was light, airy, citrus vanilla. And now it's more vanilla citrus. The citrus is being overpowered by the vanilla that is getting stronger in this scent. And when I tried it out, it still took over. So I would need to maybe spray less with this one. So I'm gonna report back on this combination, but I was hoping to bring back a little bit more of the citrus that I used to get when I first hauled this one. And this still smells similar, but the vanilla is getting stronger in this one. So yeah, still gorgeous, but a powerhouse. And powerhouse fragrances for me, I don't have too many of them because they do give me headaches. I kind of wanted to play on the ginger that's in here, and I've just been loving Burberry Goddess. In fact, there's 3 with this one. Soleil by Lalique, the original, with Burberry Goddess. This was another nice combination. This one's beautiful on its own. It's got a lot already going on to it, but I do think this fragrance is very well blended. I don't get a lot of the notes. This fragrance isn't overly coffee, but there is something slightly bitter. There is something nutty. There's something like a gourmand touch. It's bright, it's juicy, it's fruity. This doesn't need to be touched, but just because I wanted to maybe, I don't know, play with the ginger that's in here and add this. This was a nice combination. While I still love this one on its own, it's my baby. I would say if I had this on during the day and just kind of wanted to, you know, zhuzh it up a little bit or just remix it for the night, I would pop this one on. This was nice. So again, this is Burberry Goddess with Soleil by Lalique. All right, another fragrance with Burberry Goddess is Juliet Has a Gun Magnolia Bliss. I paired these two together because even though I think the ginger in this one makes it suitable for, well, first of all, this is a year-round fragrance, but the ginger in here makes it a little bit spicy. So it is something that I enjoy in Florida fall, but I kind of wanted to add vanilla. Now I am going to try this with some of my other vanillas because this vanilla I find to be not overly gourmand. This is a very clean vanilla, like lavender. It's a little spicy. It's vanilla, but not overly sweet. But this was a nice combination, especially because the slight kind of warm spicy kick that I get, and this one is only in the opening, and I was hoping to bring out more of a kick of that ginger note. So I put these two together, and this was a nice combination. I think it's kind of hard to screw this up if you are pairing it with ginger, vanilla, and lavender. If you have fragrances with that, this is kind of hard to screw up with adding it to those kind of fragrances, because they just go. So this was another gorgeous combination. This next combination to me is my favorite that I have found with Burberry Goddess. This is probably a 9 out of 10, and then when I added this lotion, it became a 10 out of 10. But that is Burberry Goddess with Replica's Coffee Break. Again, I would wear each one on its own, but I would probably wear this one more so on its own, and then maybe pop this one on afterwards, just because I would say Coffee Break in the deep dry down gets a little too powdery and floral to me, and all the goodness that I love about it is more so in the first few hours of it. This to me, when you first spray it, is, yeah, it's aromas. It's like walking into a coffee shop on a rainy day, shaking off your coat and getting the aromas of coffee and wood, like maybe wooden chairs, and then you get like lavender coming through the vents. The lavender in here is a little bit more powdery, whereas it's a little bit more sharp, but it does settle down to more of a clean lavender. So together, I would say Coffee Break adds a kind of coffee, powdery lavender-ness to this fragrance. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous combination, especially for fall, but I wanted a little more coffee. So I did take Coffee and Whiskey from Bath & Body Works, 10 out of 10. So I wore this during the day while I was working from home, and then at night I took a shower, popped on this, and then layered this on top, and it gave me more of a fall feeling. So this right here, it's a great combination. Okay, then next we have my scent of the day, and that is Good Fortune Elixir by Viktor and Rolf with Alien by Mugler. I do want to try this one with the original. I think I'll like it more, but I don't know what it is about this fragrance that, to me, the Palo Santo and the smoky notes, they just don't go with the jasmine, and I don't know, there's something weird happening with this fragrance, and I like it, but I don't love it. It's not a flanker that I would have picked up if I had tested it out first. Now, layered together, I do enjoy it more. This is kind of a soapy, ambery, woody jasmine fragrance. And this adds a little bit more depth, I would say. It makes it more warm, more ambery. I don't know that this has amber. I think it does. It has an ambery woodiness to it in any case. This adds it more, but I feel like I would want the sweetness of the original more with Alien, so I do want to try that combination. But this was okay. This definitely made me pick up Alien, which I usually pick up when I go on a date with Dennis. And then it made me start wearing this one a little bit more. Again, that's Good Fortune Elixir with Alien by Mugler. Okay, the next we have Lotus Pear by Seven Virtues. This one isn't super new. I think it came out last year. But this is a fragrance that I don't love. I really like it. I do get the comparison that some people say that this is reminiscent, distant cousin. It isn't a sister of Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture. And I would have to agree. This does smell like a more grown-up version, more pear, less fruity, and there's no caramel in this one as well. But there are elements of this one that I get in that fragrance. For me, the magic of this fragrance is the opening. I absolutely love the opening of this fragrance. But once that pear leaves, and it's more of that floral notes that are in here, like the lotus, I think there's jasmine. This doesn't come off white floral. The florals in here come off more earthy to my nose. Like they don't list patchouli, but it feels patchouli. It feels more dewy, and it's hard to describe because from the nozzle, when I first spray it, I don't get it. It's in the deep dry down. It becomes earthy even though they don't list patchouli. It doesn't have stages like some fragrances do. To me, it's just a beautiful pear, sparkly, dewy, floral opening, and then it quickly becomes this woody, earthy dry down, but there's no woods listed or patchouli. So I don't know what it is, but I do love the opening of this fragrance. So I was hoping that if I paired it with La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier, that I would love it more because this is pear, this is also fresh, this has a freshness to it. I don't know, I just thought this would pair nicely, and it did. It did pair very nicely. I do have to play with it just a little bit more to see if it's a love, because I don't know, it's the deep dry down of this one. Like I need to tweak it. I think I need to overspray this one a little bit more. Even though this one performs well, I felt like the base notes in this one just came through. But I will say that what I did, because I ended up wearing this with that, took a shower, and then at night what I did was I sprayed this one because again, that opening for me is just chef's kiss. And then when it started to get into the dry down, that is when I popped this one on. And I did enjoy it that way as well. So I don't know if I'm ready to let go of this one because I absolutely love the opening. So I'm gonna play with that combination a little bit more. Also try this one with other pear fragrances. But for me, the opening is everything. The dry down is not. But that's Lotus Pear by Seven Virtues with Jean Paul Gaultier's La Belle. All right, then we're gonna end this with Kayali because they're grouped together. So first up is another one that I got from a viewer. Let me pull her name up. So Julissa, she saw my Kayali video where I talk about Tobacco Oud and how this wasn't a favorite of mine. Now, I will say that this fragrance has gotten sweeter. And I would say that while I wouldn't purchase this fragrance, this is one that I would possibly see if my sister liked. I could see my sister and my friend Day enjoying this fragrance. I didn't care for it, and neither did Jalissa, but she told me to layer it with Cafe Oud. I believe she also said Rose. I haven't gotten around to that. These two together are gorgeous because Cafe Oud is your rosy musk with a bittersweet cappuccino opening in the beginning. So when layered together, the Tobacco Oud gives this one a little bit more depth. It gives this one a little bit more oud that I don't necessarily get with this one on its own. This one is woody, but I wouldn't say it's particularly oudy. It's one I gotta be looking for the oud. I'm starting to get it more in rose oud, but this one to me out of the four, I felt it the least. I smelled it the least. But Tobacco Oud is more of your intermediate oud. This is more of your basic entry-level oud and rose oud. And I would say vanilla and Tobacco Oud are more of your intermediate oud. Not your deep, dark, advanced ouds. but you're intermediate. And that's the level I like to stay at. I don't like going beyond intermediate. So I do think this combination is nice. It adds a little bit more depth to Cafe Oud, and then this one adds a little bit more of a sweetness, and with the rose, it does soften the scent up. So if you have tobacco oud and you're like, what do I layer this with? I would say a nice rosy coffee fragrance, and if you have Cafe Oud, this is a nice combination. I'm gonna be trying it with the other ones, but I wanted to mention those two. Now I did talk about rose oud with Cafe Oud in my last video, but I cut it out because I didn't describe them. And that's because this combination is another seamless combination, kind of like the first one. I cannot tell these apart. Like sometimes when I'm wearing a fragrance, depending on how I spray it, I might catch a waft of Burberry or Yves Saint Laurent's Leap, like if I mix them. This one is more seamless. They're both rosy fragrances. This one's just a little bit more bright and sparkly in the opening with the pear and the lemon. And this one, the oud's a little bit more, it's still basic, still entry level, but I get the oud a little bit more in this one. This one's rosy, it's musky, it's got that bittersweet cappuccino opening together, seamless, beautiful. So this is another nice combination. This is new but new, but I wanted to talk about it. Okay, then next we have Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple with Mugler's Angel d'Eau de Toilette. I was hoping to recreate maybe, and I don't know why, because this has praline but not caramel, but sometimes praline can come off with not necessarily caramel, but I don't know. I was hoping to get a light Casablanca touch that I've been missing lately. But if you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know that Casablanca started to bother me in the deep dry down. This combination was nice. I would have to revisit this more so in spring. Or maybe transitioning from summer to fall. I feel like now that I'm into fall more, this combination wasn't doing it for me, and I don't know if it's because of the season. So this, when I tried it, I was like, she's okay, but she got a little musky, because this is kind of a musky apple, and this scent does get musky to me. It does have praline, but it's not overly gourmand. The praline in here never gets too sweet on my skin. So I've talked about Angel d'Eau de Toilette in combination with Angel Share in another video. I had mentioned that this gave me that same caramel dipped candied apple that I would get from Casablanca, but more of your bougie, like the ones that you get at work where they come really nicely packaged. That's what this gave me, because this has more of a Cinnabon gourmand touch to it. So when I did test these out and it got a little musky, I put this on top and I got almost the similar vibe, just a little bit more of a musky apple dose. So this was a nice combination when I wasn't feeling just these two on its own. So again, that is Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple with Mugler's Angel d'Eau de Toilette and Angel Share. I preferred that combination over just the first two. I'll report back in spring. And then for my last 10 out of 10, we have the Wedding Velvet Santal. Now this is limited edition, but I did check and it's still available. So this fragrance, if you've heard me talk about it, it's not about the notes. This fragrance is blended to be velvety soft. It's got this kind of suede leather-like feeling to it. There's a plum note that's not in here. This one has, like, I think jasmine tea. So it's not about the notes to me for this one, because I get a plum. I get a plum. It's the same plum that I get in this next fragrance, and together I'm gonna wear this for Halloween because it's sexy, it's mysterious, it's gorgeous. Marc Jacobs Decadence. But the scent is Discontinued. These two together is another seamless, gorgeous combination. It's just warm, it's spicy, it's plummy, it's vetiver, it's woodsy, it's mysterious, it's sexy. If you have these fragrances, try them out. They are gorgeous together. It's my number one. It wasn't my scent of the day because I was gonna talk about, I don't know if I'm gonna have time, but I was gonna do my review on Good Fortune, but I'm just not in the mood. So I did pop this on to test it out today, but I will be wearing this one tonight, and I will be wearing it for Halloween. And again, that is Kayali's Velvet Santal. I always forget the names because they're super long. And then Marc Jacobs Decadence. So I know this was discontinued, but I know a lot of people who who have this in their collection, because at one time this was talked about, and I haven't picked up this scent in a long time. So I have this newfound love for it, and it's because of that. So if you have those fragrances, try them out. So those are my fragrance remixes part 2. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite layering combos. But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.